integration question, so do keep in mind how to solve integration. So this is going to be total marks for about, let's say, how many marks is this totally? This is 11 marks. This seems to be the final question. All right, so find the integration form of this. By the way, I've made a video on integration, so if you guys want to check it out, check it out. 3x plus 2 squared divided by 4x raised to the power half. If you do this, you're just going to simplify all of this to give you 9x squared plus 12x plus 4 divided by 4x half. Now what you need to do is now start splitting this up in terms of its powers. Plus 12x divided by 4x raised to the power half plus 4 divided by 4x half. Once you do that, once you split these terms individually, you're going to get 9 by 4 x raised to the power 2 minus half. That's indirectly going to give you 3 by 2 plus 12 divided by 4 is 3x raised to the power half plus x minus half. Since you're putting it on top, 4 times 4 divided by 4 is just, all I'm doing is just simplification, guys. This is just simplifying it all in terms of its powers. Now once you do this, you're going to integrate this. So you're going to add the powers by 1 and you're going to divide it by the new power. That's a rule of integration. So what I mean by is 9x raised to the power 3 by 2 plus 1. You're going to divide it by the new power, 3 by 2 plus 1, plus 3x raised to the power half plus 1 divided by the new power, half plus 1, plus x raised to the power negative half plus 1 divided by the new power again, negative half plus 1. Now once you simplify all of this, you should be getting your final answer to be about 9 by 10 x raised to the power 5 by 2 plus 2x raised to the power 3 by 2 plus 2x raised to the power half. By the way, add the c. Remember to add the c. C plus c just represents the constant of integration. That's the most important part of integration when you're dealing with that. Now we're just going to write this down in nice notation form. So 3x plus 2 squared divided by 4 squared x dx is going to become equivalent to 9 by 10 x raised to the power 5 by 2 plus 2x raised to the power 3 by 2 plus 2x raised to the power half plus c. This is going to become your final answer for about 5 marks. Hopefully you guys have understood how to do the integration part. Do add c plus c. Is very important. That's a constant of integration. Alright, let's move on to the second question, part 2. What does part 2 state? The part 2 states that curve c has equation y equals f of x. Given that f of x is equivalent to x squared plus ax plus b, where a and b are constants, the y-intercept of c is given to be about negative 8. Point P is also given, and the gradient of C is given. So what we're going to do is we're going to write down all the values, of course. So y is equivalent to f of x. We know the y-intercept of C to be about, y-intercept of C is negative 8. We know the dy over dx expression is x squared plus ax plus b. By the way, all of these I'm getting it from the question itself, from above. Once you do that, and we know that point P, it lies 3,2 lies on C, and we know x is equivalent to 3 and y is equivalent to negative 2, and we know the gradient as well. We know the gradient of C at P is 2. Alright, so we know that the value is 2. Now what you're going to do is, since we know what the gradient is, we know what the x value is, we're going to use the x value and the gradient, and we're going to substitute both these values into this differentiated form. So it's going to go 3 squared plus 3a plus b is equivalent to 2. Once you do that, you're going to get a final value, or let's say you're going to rearrange this. Let me just check how to rearrange this in this form. So we're going to rearrange it and get our final answer to be roughly about 3a plus b plus 7 is equivalent to 0. Once you rearrange all of this, you're going to get a equation like this. Now we have to find out the other part of the equation. So the other part of the equation is when you integrate it, by the way, when you integrate x squared plus ax plus b dx, you're going to get a value of x raised to the power 2 plus 1 divided by power 2 plus 1 plus ax raised to the power 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1 plus bx plus c, the constant integration. Now when you integrate this, you're going to get a final answer of y is equivalent to x raised to the power 3 divided by 3 plus ax raised to the power 2 divided by 2 plus bx minus 8. Now the reason why c is written minus 8 is because we know the y-intercept of c is negative 8. So we're just going to substitute that value over there. Okay, so now once you do that, we have to find out what the value of a and b is again. So we know x and y coordinates. It's 3 comma negative 2. Again, we got this again from point P itself. So all we know x is 3. We know y is negative 2. All we need to do is just substitute this back into the equation. So you get a final equation of 9 by 2a plus 3b plus 3 is equivalent to 0 if you substitute it into. So indirectly we found out two equations. Now we can find out the value of a and b using simultaneous methods, either using the elimination method or the substitution method. It just matters on your choice. 3a plus b is equivalent to negative 7. Now the reason why I've written down like this was since it's easier to equate it in that form. So 9 by 2a plus 3b is equivalent to negative 3. All I've done is just push the positive 3 on the other side. And since we have to make this all equivalent to each other, we're going to multiply the top equation by 3. So it's going to give us a new equation of about 9a plus 3b is equivalent to negative 21. 9 by 2a plus 3b is equivalent to negative 3. This is going to be our elimination method technique. If you subtract this, you're going to cut out these b's. And you're going to have 9 by 2a is equivalent to negative 21 minus negative 3 is going to become negative 18. Indirectly, you're going to find out the value of a to be about negative 4. This is going to be a value of a. Now you're going to substitute the value of a back into this equation. So 3 brackets negative 4 plus b is equivalent to negative 7. Indirectly, you're going to find out the value of b to be about 5. Since we know the value of a and b now, all we need to do is just substitute this back into the equation. So you get f of x is equivalent to 1 by 3 x raised to the power of 3. So that's the original equation. Yeah, we're going to substitute it back into this equation over here. Plus minus, so it's going to become plus negative 4 divided by 2x squared plus 5x minus 8. Indirectly, this all becomes, since we have substituted the value of b and a into this equation over here on the top, a and b, we have to, of course, simplify this. So you're going to get 1 by 3 x raised to the power 3 minus 2x squared plus 5x minus 8. This is going to be your final answer. So f of x is going to become equivalent to 1 by 3 x raised to the power 3 minus 2x raised to the power 2 plus 5x minus 8. So this is going to be your final answer for about 6 marks.